Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Pup. We are back for week 2 of the LPDL low tier Little Cup Draft League. Having a blast so far. Hope you guys are enjoying the low tier and VGC Little Cup content. If so, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Do all that fun YouTube stuff. But this week we were playing off against Old Man Wolf Haley, someone that we've played plenty of times in the GWA, and they're a great battler, great person in general. Really excited to play them. We're both 0-1. I took a -4 loss. That was so tough last week and reverse swept by the Swinub after a freeze. And then Old Man is -3. They had a tough loss last week as well. But they have a crazy team. Their team is a lot more scary than mine. So we have our work cut out for us for sure. I'm going to say that every week because this team is not great. My fiance did not do a great job picking all the great Pokemon, but I can do some work with some of these guys. I'm happy with some of the picks. Some of the other ones are a little bit but I can do some work. Okay. But yeah, we're going to need some help in this one. So it's going to be a tough one, but, man, I didn't switch any of the typings of all those moves. Oh, well, who cares? I don't. Let's talk about Old Man's team. They have a Totodile. This Pokemon is absolutely insane. It 6-0s my entire team. Now, that's not entirely true, but once they get up a Dragon Dance, it's really hard for me to beat them. I do have options like Choice Scarf Pichu. Any other Choice Scarfer that's like decently fast can be there. I also do have Turtwig, which is Terra and very bulky, so I should be able to eat any one hit, depending. So pretty solid there. So I have some like small answers to that guy, not the best. They have Houndour. I also don't have the best answers to this guy. It's a especially offensive monster. I don't switch into it at all. I don't switch into fire moves besides like Tepig is a solid switch in because it's thick fat, 4 times resist, but Dark Pulse absolutely 6-0s my team. I don't have a fairy type, but I do have the potential for a fairy Terra this week, maybe. Tentacool, that's that Pokemon. Toxic Spikes are absolutely nasty. Any toxic versus my team because I don't have a poison type or a steel type. So that is very bad. I also think it's hard for me to do anything with my hazards because they have that free easy spinner because I have no ghost type to do that. So my Terra is not going to fill up all those roles for me. It also is just a nice special wall. So it's a little bit tougher to click moves with something like Goomy, Mudkip, stuff like that. They have Bronzor. I think this Pokemon's pretty solid, but might not come in this game. The best thing about it is that it eats Facade from Teddy Ursa, which is really nice for them. It is a defensive Pokemon for that. Does it provide a lot of utility for them? Maybe. Trick Room, T-Wave, Stealth Rocks, that sort of stuff could happen, but also it could just be set up fodder. So we'll see what happens with there. And, you know, they have a lot of Pokemon on their team that really want that EVLite item, so we'll see. They have a Silly Cobra. This is one of those Pokemon that really wants EVLite. Glare, Stealth Rocks, Spikes, blah, blah, blah. Probably going to come in this game because we get Hazard stacked incredibly easily. So we're going to have to figure out a way to deal with that Pokemon. Noibat is a fast, pivoter usually. It can do some crazy damage with some nice coverage. Hurricane, Draco, Heat Wave, like that stuff is really annoying and very hard for me to swap into. They also have a Terra Flabebe. That Pokemon, it might want to come to this game. I do think it could be decently solid. I think like Choice Specs Terra Fairy could absolutely destroy my team because I have 0 resist to Fairy. So that is scary. Like Choice Scarf or Choice Specs, I think make a lot of sense on that. Or they could be some sort of Calm Mind variant. But I think I deal with that much, much better. Lechonk is their other Terra Captain, which I'm not sure what this Pokemon wants to do, but it's thick fat. It's not really like the best into this potential matchup, but they could also be like Terra Fairy, Terra Blast, and absolutely rip Pulse through my team. So, they also have a Deerling, which this Pokemon's either going to be like Eviolite, and they're going to be like Trailblaze, Headbutt, or they're going to be Choice Scarf and do the Headbutt stuff with Sering Race. They also could be T-Wave if they're Eviolite. Very, very annoying, and we lost to Approuter in the playoffs last season because we got incredibly unlucky versus it. So yeah, hate that Pokemon. And then Rellor, I really don't know what Rellor does. I don't think it does like anything. Most of the tier 5s don't really do too much. The Rellor is just kind of there. Well, let's look at what I am bringing this week. We're going to start off with our Teddy Ursa. Has been one of the Pokemon I'm most excited to use. Man, stupid chair keeps falling down. But one of the Pokemon I'm more excited to use. With Toxic Boost or Quick Feet, whatever. We get extra speed, and I don't really think I need the double speed with the Trailblaze this week, so I took that off for Protect. I think that comes up a little bit more often. Once I get KO'd by something like a Houndour or something, I can always Protect, and then I'm able to get up my Toxic boost and you know, really just click some moves. Crunch is there for the Bronzor, and then Close Combat is a solid click into their team if I need it, into like Lechonk or something like that. Deerling, I think we do a little bit more damage, but I also might just not. But if they Terra Steel on something like Flabebe, that could be an issue. So Close Combat's there for that. We also have Blitzel here with an air balloon, so I can switch into the Silly Cobra a little bit better because I don't switch into ground moves at all once I Terra my Turtwig. So I just have that. We have Double Kick, which is really solid for taking out the Houndour. Revenge killing that thing is really nice, and it does a lot of damage to Deerling, especially if they are not EV-lighted, but then we're probably just going to get flinched down. For Supercell Slam as well, which destroys the Totodile and the Tentacool. And Trailblaze, I can hit the Silly Cobra with that. Quick attack in case they try to set up and sweep with like Totodile. I need to get a little bit of damage on. We have our Hippo as our next Pokemon. EQ, Stealth Rock, Slack Off, Crunch with the Eviolite this week. A lot more defensive. Maybe should have gone specially defensive instead of like Adamant. But they don't have a great switch into Earthquake. And, you know, their potential switch-ins are Noibat, which gets destroyed by Crunch, and Bronzor, which gets destroyed by Crunch. So we're able to do that. Maybe they could switch into Deerling, which also does not like to take a Crunch. And we can definitely take a hit from that guy just because we're a Hippo. They don't like the sand as well. It's pretty annoying for them. So hopefully we'll be able to make this work. We have a little bit of speed investment on this guy as well to try to outrun that Bronzor and hit it with Crunch. Next up is our Terra Poison Turtwig. This is to make sure we don't just lose to T-Spikes off the bat. Very, very scary. If they lead with Tentacool, I'm going hard Turtwig. If it's like early in the game, I'm going hard Turtwig on Tentacool every single time. If they want to flip turn, so be it. You know, I'm able to get that up. I can also stockpile on them, which gives me +1 defense and special defense, which is great versus their team. I also have Synthesis. Crunch and Bullet Seed are great, you know, moves versus their entire team, except for the Houndour. I don't really touch that Pokemon, but Bullet Seed, if I get a couple hits, will actually still do a decent amount of damage. So that's my second Eviolite user right there. Next up, we have one of our new members to the team, Mudkip. This was my first round pick. I didn't bring it last week. Maybe should have, but we're bringing it this week with a Choice Scarf variant. Very strong here, actually. I wish it got flip turn so I was able to, you know, pivot it out at the beginning. But we have, you know, really strong Hydro Pumps, Ice Beams, Earth Powers versus their team, and I threw on Surf as well, just in case I don't want to miss. It's really nice to be able to limit the Houndour a little bit, and once the Tentacool is out of the way, this Pokemon absolutely just clicks buttons. They don't have to switch into Hydro Pump after that Pokemon. And if I call them on the switch to Tentacool, we can do like half with Earth Power, and that's like to Eviolite variant, I think. So it looks pretty good. We're just max attack, max speed sort of stuff. Yeah, I'm really excited to use this guy. Hopefully it'll work out for us. And then last but certainly not least, Pokemon that I hated on all of last season until Tom went and absolutely destroyed everyone with it, Phanpy. So this Pokemon actually seems really solid in this game. We got a Pasho Berry, so we can always eat like an Aqua Jet, or even I think we can eat a Liquidation, if I'm being honest, from the Totodile. But that makes, like, we have to be at full for that for sure. We have Trailblaze to get our speed boost from that. And once we get that, we're faster than everything on their team. Basically, everything dies to EQ. Noibat dies to Ice Shard if they're not Eviolite. The Silly Cobra might be able to eat something. Deerling probably eats one. You know, but we can knock off the Bronzor. We can really just disrupt their team. So I see myself using this kind of early in the game to disrupt them, or late game to try to sweep and be really annoying versus them. Hopefully it's going to work out. I would have loved to put an Eviolite on that guy, but I think I needed it for my other Pokemon. So the Pasho Berry is going to have to do, and hopefully it'll do us some work. If not, then, oh well, I'll cry about it. Yeah, that's going to be our team. Hopefully we're going to be able to not go 0-2. That would really suck. Hopefully we'll at least move up to 1-1 and take out Old Man. But yeah, if you guys do enjoy, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Yo, what's good, everyone? We are here facing off against Mr. Old Man, Wolf Haley. They did not bring the Totodile. Like, what? What are we doing? No Totodile is crazy. I'm very happy with that. No Bronzor as well is absolutely nutty. That's insane, man. That stuff is insane. They did bring the Sandaconda, or the Silly Cobra. They brought Noibat. The Deerling is a threat. I completely forgot to tier that Pokemon. If any of you other coaches are watching, I completely forgot to tier that Pokemon, and it just stayed in tier 4, which was fair for like normal. I mean, it probably should have been tier 3 in like a normal league. It should have been like tier 2 at least for this. But yeah, I'm leading with my Mudkip. That's my guaranteed lead, because I can OHKO the Noibat on lead, and I can, I'm Choice Scarf, so I outspeed that if they want to try to U-turn versus me. And then like the Silly Cobra, I should be fine into as well. A Silly Cobra, if they're not like super Spadef, even with Eviolite, they can die. If they're max Spadef, they definitely don't. But if there's no Spadef, then they most likely do. So that's what we're doing here. Maybe should have been modest, as we do see Noibat. Noibat. They might think that they can just freely U-turn out. I mean, they get free spikes versus me, which is really tough. They're going to Frisk, see my Choice Scarf, so then they actually know that they can't do everything they want. I really want to Earth Power now, predicting the swap out into the Tentacool. Since they see that Scarf. There's no way they stay in. I'm going to Earth Power here. I forgot about Frisk on that, so I'm assuming we see Tentacool. Kenny. It is. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so they're going to take some decent damage there. I really want to go straight out to Sprout here, just in case they end up being the Toxic Spikes. So I can absorb them later and not get toxicked. Would be great. I think I'll do that. They can also go right back out into the Noibat. Or they can go Deerling if they want. I have a feeling that they don't stay in. Yeah, they withdraw. Okay. So probably Noibat, but I can get my Terra off. Yeah. That's fine. This is fine. They're going to see my Eviolite. But I'm just going to Terra here. I can stockpile if I want. Versus Noibat. I mean, this Pokemon gets some annoying stuff for me. Let me bring up everything just so I can see it a little bit better. Noibat. So Frisk. They actually can't hit me very hard. They could be like switcheroo with some choice item, which would be annoying. I think for now, I'm just going to Terra and I'm going to click stockpile. Got to get my Terra off. Worst thing, they could be like Super Fang would be really tough for me. Super Fang would be very annoying. As they're just going to Dragon Pulse me. We take 9. Dragon Pulse. We take 9 damage, which means they're max attack. They're more than max attack. I think they might be choice specs. A choice specs does 9. If they're, let's see if they're modest and not, then they have one roll that could do 9. So that's fair. Bullet Seed does nothing. Crunch does a decent bit. When I'm +1 Spadef versus them, this modest set, I don't think I ever get to it KO'd. So I'll just Crunch as they do withdraw. So I'm assuming specs, but could be something else. As they go back out into the Tentacool. They're going to take some decent damage there. Nothing crazy. And I think I can just Bullet Seed versus them here. And 3 hits should knock them out at this range. So I'll go for that. We're +1/+1. They can knock me off, which is totally fine if they want to do that. That's what I assume comes out here. But it just means that we don't have to deal with T-Spike. Because they have no sort of recovery on this guy. So I don't mind taking a knock here. I think Stockpile was our best play in that scenario. We can't get crit, so we don't die. They're just going to haze. That's totally fine. That is totally, totally fine. Way better than a knock. Come on. Hit 3 or get a high roll. Come on, hit 3, hit 3. Perfect. Oh, I thought he was doing the animation. I'm silly for that one. Oh, well. I mean, they see two of my moves. They can knock me off if they want now. As they just flip turn, we might see the Houndour come out here. I guess I could have recovered Synthesis. No big deal. No big deal. We're very Spadef. This is probably Houndour. Yeah. Houndour with Fire Blast. I don't even know if they knock me out, really. We're going to hit them 3 times. It's not too bad. Oh, I can put my ruler back up. I just had my VGC game. They look like they have a little bit of defense investment. A Fire Blast should knock me out here. But this Pokemon can be scary, especially if they get a Flame Charge off. Right? If they get a Flame Charge off, then Dark Pulse is so nasty. I mean, I have my Hippo. My Hippo is actually decently defensive. Doesn't take this very well. All right, I'm gonna make the aggressive play out to Mudkip. If they Flame Charge, it's tough, and then I think I go out to, I think I have to go out to the Hippo if they do. They just Dark Pulse, that's fine. They crit me, no, really? That never knocked me out. If they're choice specs, then there was one roll to knock me out. That's so bad for me, man. There goes my Scarfer. I mean, I can go into Teddy Ursa. Teddy Ursa's really strong versus them here. Teddy Ursa's really, really strong. Let me go out to Teddy. All right, let's just do this. Ah, that's so tough, though. I'm just going to protect here, and then we get the Facade off next turn. They're going to withdraw. That's fine. I don't mind it too much. They got to Inchworm. So the Silly Cobra. Teddy, or no, not Teddy Ursa. Silly Cobra. This guy's probably Eviolited, but we are poisoned. Like, Trailblaze into Facade probably just straight up knocks them out. They can Earthquake me and do a lot back, though, is the only threat here. Yeah, Earthquake does plenty. Earthquake definitely does plenty. I think it's still in my best interest to try to break through them. If I get a Trailblaze and a Facade off, I might be in a good spot to win, even. Let me Facade first. Let me Facade first, just to get extra damage. Oh yeah, that is huge damage there. Helmet, that's okay. We do see Earthquake come out here. I should live. Yep, we do. Do I live the Toxic after another hit? I'm not quite sure. But I will Trailblaze, just in case. I think I might live 1. But they're probably Sucker Punch in the back. On the Houndour. They might not be. Man, getting flinched or getting crit there was so bad. Because at the very least, like, I would have known if they were Choice Scarf. Ah, man. But we're +1 with the Quick Feet. They go out to Kenny. I mean, yeah, they're just sacking something, which is fine. I have no worries about hazards anymore, which is great. I have a lot of worries about the Houndour. That Pokemon is absolutely disgusting versus me. But we do pick up 2 KOs here with Teddy Ursa, which is great. So 4v4. It's interesting. Because also this guy's really, really good here. The Phanpy. I think I'm going to go out to my Hippo because I feel like the Houndour is their most likely answer. Or most likely switch in. Okay, this is fine. They're just going to see my Eviolite. We're going to get some sand up. I can hit this thing very hard. Or I can just, you know, I think I just set up rocks, if I'm being honest. They can U-turn out. I think rocks is my best play. I was going to say, they can U-turn out into the Deerling. Yeah, this is okay. We take a lot. pretty sure this guy is specs. Noibat. Let me just do some more calcs. Dragon Pulse. Dragon Pulse from Max Modest. Yeah, I could never do that much. So they're choice spec. Makes sense too. Are they timid specs? We don't know. Do I need to keep this Pokemon around? I don't think so. I think I can get rid of it. I'll just click Crunch on this turn. Aw, man. Having Mudkip would be so good for me. Just like last week, we also got unlucky in that one. So they take a little bit of damage. I can go out to my Dumbo here, my Phanpy. Ice Shard should always knock them out. I could also just Trailblaze first. I mean, could be really nice. I think I'm just going to go out. Ah, man. It's interesting because if I Trailblaze on their swap, it's really nice. They also don't really take on this Pokemon very well. So I'll Shard. I'll Ice Shard here. Maybe they don't know we get it, or maybe they just won't care. If they don't care, that's totally fair. I'll just try to pick this one off. If they go out to Flabébé, that Pokemon's an issue at this point. Definitely. Their Terra Ghost. So knockoff is really strong versus them if they do Terra. Thinking I have like Heavy Slam or something. Maybe they would do that. Yeah, they do swap. Good play. Good play. Do we see Flabébé? I think that's what that is. Yeah, it is Flabébé. They're going to take some rocks. I also... Ooh. I might just outrun them and knock them out here. I do need to keep this Pokemon alive, though. Is the biggest issue. This Pokemon's so good versus them. I'm max speed. If they're also max speed, it's a speed tie. Can I win with what I have left? I might be able to. All right, let's go for it. We do get speed tie if they were max. They live off. Well, they're not going to heal very much. That's awesome. I don't mind that. They're in the sandstorm, man. You're going to heal just a little bit. That is great. And then, oh man, I really want to Trailblaze this guy, but they're obviously some sort of Eviolite. Some sort of something. If I Trailblaze, I could just... No, I think I still lose to Deerling. Or I don't just win because of Deerling in the back. So yeah, we're going to take our kill here, which is great. Deerling is a huge threat. Deerling. I don't think they're going to be Eviolite on the Deerling. I don't think so. But who knows? They go to this Pokemon. Maybe this is choice specs based on how they're playing it. It might be in my best interest to just sack off the turtle. Yeah, because then I can go out to Kablam and I actually look pretty solid with that Pokemon. So I'm going to sack off Turtwig to try to win this. They're going to Dark Pulse. They're going to knock me out. That's fine. Versus Houndour. Houndour, not Houndoom. I just want to look at the calcs a little bit on that Dark Pulse. Actually, it looks like it might be specs on that. To do 10 damage to my Turtwig. They're modest. If they're modest, they can't do 10. So yeah, I think this thing is choice specs. I'm just going to double kick here. It's my only play. And we do end up taking them out. That's great. I'm Sap Sipper for the Deerling. Right? I am Sap Sipper. So I can do this. They go out to Bambi. Okay. They're going to take a little bit of damage. I can double kick this guy. It's going to do a decent chunk. Yeah, I mean, I would just go for it. They're going to headbutt. They're going to try to flinch me down. They pop my balloon. Are they scarfed? If they are, they're going to get me here, I think. I double kick just in case they're not scarfed. I mean, if they're not scarfed, then they just won 2 speed ties in a row, and I just am getting incredibly unlucky. Because I think 1 double kick would have brought them into range of Phanpy. I think. I mean, I can just Ice Shard a million times versus this guy if they are choiced. And maybe I can win with that. Like, I have to hope that they were choiced. Right? That's a lot of damage, too. They crit me. Come on, man. They crit me. Stop critting me. Ice Shard. They live on 1. Well, we live on 2. I think we're going to do it on 2 HP. I think if they swapped out there and went for a grass type move, I think they would have been okay. But I'll take the throw because we got incredibly unlucky there. I mean, I do think we actually lived any grass move. What, your best physical grass move? Maybe Bullet Seed, maybe Trailblaze. Like a Trailblaze, we always would have lived. I think Ice Shard just does it here. Phanpy cleans them up. Let's go. Nice 1-0 victory on 2 HP. We're on the board after a tough ending to last week. Did get pretty unlucky in this one, but it worked out. Maybe the crit didn't matter on Houndour versus my Mudkip, since it seems like they were choice specs. If they were choice specs, 1 roll killed me. If they're modest choice specs, then it was a 50-50. And no, it was less than that. It was still in my favor to live. So yeah, I talked about this in the other video. I have this stupid chair that keeps lowering on me. It's kind of funny. But we do take a win. I hope you guys did enjoy this battle. It was a really fun one for me. Great game to Mr. Old Man. Yeah, and if you guys do enjoy, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe so you don't miss it. Little Cup on Saturday and Sunday. We have singles on Saturday, doubles on Sunday, so don't miss any of that. And we'll be having even more even after the season's done, because it's my favorite format. Yep, hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. Peace.